Oh, wicked. Right. Ah, awesome. How is everyone doing? Let's go. Let's rock. Right. Okay. So, I have been out of the game development business for a little while, just purely because I've been pretty ill and I've had to do a few sort of stressfully things. But I'm ready and rocked and getting back into it. We're going to do some awesome stuff. Lakia, absolutely awesome. Welcome. So I'll be honest, some of the stuff is like it's quite nice actually because you put a little list of things that need fixing, in which a lot of them are going to be quick, easy, sort of done, no problem. I've got your list somewhere. I think it's just on the other stream. Things that I'm looking to fix, and another big thing that I do want to do is I want to try and work out how to get the mouse wheel to work when we don't have UI. Now, I've got kind of ideas, right? But my plan is I'm going to kind of experiment. I'm going to spend about like, I reckon about half an hour seeing if I can kind of make any headway or any ground on it. And then if so, then we can start actually like putting it together and actually getting the mouse scroll wheel to work. Like what we'll do before anything else happens, let's do the easy thing first. Right, let's go create a problem and then we'll fix it. Right, so this is the title screen. I think we should be let's see if we get any any opening error messages as we start. No, we're okay. Let me just turn the this music down. Sorry, it's awfully loud, isn't it? There we go. I'll keep that one up. Right, so here is the issue, and I want to see. In fact, let's go create it properly. I'm going to move the screen like this, and then actually no, wait a sec. If we go play focused, right, and then we have a screen that's kind of like roughly square shaped, and then we press play. I'm hoping this issue still comes about. Right. Interesting. Very interesting. So, the issue that we have is you press play, and then the next game object that's made is behind everything. Yeah. I'm feeling a lot better now. I'm still not like, I'd say I'm about like, you know when people say I'm not 100%, I reckon I'm about 96, 97%. You know, good enough to do all the things. Our big thing here is we're going to fix this. Now, this shouldn't be too hard. All we really need to do, there's multiple ways we can go about it, but I kind of want to have our order in layer to be the same as whatever this is. So let's have a look. So at the moment, we've got it as front and order in layer 2. Now, if I press this, and we click on this, it's default and 0. That's our problem. So hypothetically, if that was front and that was 2, then the issue's sorted. We also, let's go do something else as well, because I need to experiment with a few things. So we're starting a new game. Oh, but how are you doing though, Lakia? Right. This always takes a while. It always takes an alarming amount of time, but it's okay. Just, you know, yes, we're there. So the reason I wanted to start a new game is so I can go back to title, and I want to have a look at the resume button, because I'm pretty sure it's going to have the same problem as... yeah, so it's got the same problem there. But that's easily fixed. Oh, nice. Oh, wow. Oh, I mean, that's the thing. That whenever it comes to anything, I'm guessing when you say offence, do you mean like as in just a normal offence for the garden or something? Anything that anything that requires using my own physical hands for manual labour, I'm terrible at. Right. So this is also default. So what we probably should do is look for both these two buttons in here. If I go new game button go, I'm just going to click here, turn this off here, go out of here, and then I think it will simply be a matter of it's like in my head now. I'm imagining you using a 3D printer to get all the things putting them together. But no, that's fair play. Well done, man. You got a lot more patience than I do. I'm just I'm terrible. It's like I technically do have a garden, and it's it's one of those gardens where I kind of wanted to. There's a little kind of door that leads to outside, like to the garden, and I kind of wanted to leave it closed as soon as I started living here. Just pretend I don't have a garden. Right, so we've got new game button and resume button. Now let's just see if that just fixes the problem altogether, because there's a chance that for whatever reason I might have manually set it. But anyway, let's find out. Right. Yeah, okay. Problem solved. Wicked. Okay. Alright. That was good. Okay, one problem down. Game dev for real. Right, let's go change this to... problems solved this stream. And then we're going to just have one. And then and it will remain that for the rest of the stream. No, I'm joking. We're going to do loads of stuff. But that's that problem sorted. Okay, right. So here is another issue that we've got. Now, Lakey, I didn't mention this at any point. Yeah, fair play. It's just, I mean, I always think of sort of benefits. It's don't get me wrong, this is a terrible thing. It's just I'm not very good with because I'm allergic to sort of cats and dogs. I've never really been excited. I always just think, it's someone who's going to trigger off my asthma. So, but I think it's partly. So it's the same thing with gardens. I'm just like, it's quite a lot of work to look after. Right, so we're going to do yes, okay, let's go create the problem. And this is something that you may or may not have known, but I'm going to play game here. Oh, wow. Okay, fair play. Right, I'm going to go new game. I probably should have actually done resume because it's quicker. But we'll create a problem. And in fact, I can even partially show the problem here. So, if I press this shows all the cards. Don't worry, the resolution is poor. That's just because of the angle. In fact, I'm going to sort out because when you actually just said lose a layer of whiteness on the text, I think that's perfectly doable. I think that's not even too much effort. I will. Yeah, that's what I'm going to work on later. But for the time being, what I want to do is these are the cards in the deck, but they're literally just in the order that they come across here, right? That doesn't sound too bad. But if we exit out of here and press play into a new game, right, we kind of run into bigger problems, right? Now, like I say, you might have known this already, but if you press this button, right, this is literally the order in which the cards will come, right, which gives you an unfair advantage, right? So I think it starts from there. So when we actually draw cards, it will be sustained, whatever this one is, sustained attack, metal wall. It will arrive in that order, but I just want to confirm. Yeah, it's literally arrived in that order. So it is actually a little bit of a it's a little bit of a cheat, an unfair advantage that you can get. And my way of fixing that is if you actually look at every... Where are we? if we look at every card SO, so scriptable objects, so each one designed for each card, which I'm sure is attached here somewhere, this one here, right? All of them have Cardinum metal, like the name somewhere on it. It would make more sense if I just like arrange them in pseudo alphabetical order. It's not quite alphabetical order because when I create more cards, I actually, for whatever reason, have to add them at the end. So it's all in alphabetical order until you get like Bolster the Line and Jackie and Tugboat Gorosol, because whenever I add a new one, it has to be at the bottom. But I'm just going to put them in that rough order. Oh yes, so the actually, you know what? While as you mentioned that, that's actually very relevant. So the discard pile, I think the only thing that actually benefits from it is a card called Grave Carvor, but I believe this is the top of the discard pile here. So if you wanted to know what cards Grave Carvor was going to play, it would be starting from the right, which I'm kind of okay with. I think perhaps I would just want it flipped, but I'll worry about that later. Right, for the time being, we're going to work on getting the library in order of like the card enums. So now I need to get out of this one. In fact, I just need to click on here and then kind of work out. So this is the deck go clone deck script. Let's edit it, and then we can probably work it out from there. Yes, and that would be perfectly logical to think that. But I think it would make more sense if, like, because the discard pile, I actively do want people to know what order they are. Whereas for when you've got an unknown card, when you don't know the order of your cards in your deck, then I want that to be you not to get any free information that way. Right, so let's go close all but this. Let's go try and work out if we can sort this. So I think what we probably need is let's find out exactly how it works, because this has been a little while since I've done this, so I'm just going to work on sort of fixing this. So Control MO, if we close everything, I'm pretty sure on point of click, this is where our first thing. So if the library is not showing, summon library. Right, okay. So, yep, this is putting itself, and then here is the summon library routine. Here is where we're instantiating a bunch. I just have a feeling I've used this script multiple times. Anyway. In fact, let me just play it. So, I haven't... Oh yes, good, we're still actually playing here. Right, this is called the discard pile script, that's fine. Okay, everything's good. Okay, good question, Lakia. Right, now, so, right, should you be able to even look at your deck while it's in play, because it does kind of give you a bit of an unfair advantage. I agree with you. So I've got two very weak counter arguments. So number one, on Slay the Spire you can, right? So therefore that's pretty much, you know, that argument in and of itself is good enough. No, on Slay the Spire you can, but secondly, if you were really paying close attention to what cards you have in your deck and what you know is in the discard pile and everything, you could always work it out. And so this is more of an ease of life. It doesn't actually give you any advantage. It just stops you having to like put too much brain power into what you need to do. That's, again, both of them are not actually that strong an argument. But yeah, like I say, I'm pretty sure Slay the Spire does. Like I say, not a strong argument. And for example, even with Hearthstone, sure, you can't look at your deck list and the number of cards left, but you can get completely legal things called deck trackers, which help you. Which basically, if you're playing competitive arena, it gives you a substantial advantage. Again, I'm digging myself into a hole because you are right. In theory, you shouldn't need that shouldn't be the case. But I think I quite like that strategy of thinking, well, okay, these are the cards that I have left to do. But no, I understand. I understand your argument. But like I say, I'm looking to change it so that instead of it showing it in the actual order the cards are going to come, it's going to instead show you the just the cards in a very sort of almost alphabetical like order. So actually, let's do the easy one first. So if we've got this discard pile script. Let's edit this as well. The discard pile should be easier, so I'm going to stop this and then we'll see if we can get it working correctly. I've got too many things here. Right, so let's just follow on. So summon library does all of this. So this is almost what we want to happen. This is oh yes, I see. Yes, so this card library script. Oh, very interesting. So let's see. Oh, so both of these times we're creating the card library Go. So I think a lot of this code will actually have to go in. It's all about this card library script. So let's go to this definition. And upon summon, we got a bunch of card SOs. This shouldn't be too hard. So we should have control MO, right? Something like public. Oh god, I'm terrible at this. Public list of card SOs. Something like. Get card list in discard. I'll put formation. Okay, that's good. And return cards. Let me just rename that to card SOs. Okay, right. Now we've got to work out a good way of actually getting the order correct. Okay, so oh, that is really annoying. So one like genuinely useful thing to know is because there's a certain thing which I fully understand your logic, but it's only because I've played a bunch of Slay the Spire that I can give you some advice. Is any time you can get rid of any cards, right? Always just get rid of your basic starting cards. You're just like give eight attackers, give 8 defenders, because provided you literally have a deck that is like 5 cards or more, you will always get all the best options. So it's like, in theory, if you had a deck of just 5 perfect cards, that's all you would ever like need. Whereas if you keep it clunked up with these useless like give you 8 defenders cards, when there's other versions, there's cards like actually I'm trying to work out if you've unlocked. Yeah, but anyway, there's other cards which are just like the original ones, but just cheaper and do more. and so it's better. So it's like even the times if I've got a toxic scrap in my deck and I get to trash a card, I'm going to trash. Even if I've got loads of actual like scrap in my deck, I'm just going to trash one of the opening starter cards, because that way my deck will be permanently improved forever. Whereas if you just get rid of trash, yes. Oh yeah, actually, B's cards are fantastic. I mean, if ever you can get enough B's cards where you're trying to do as many B's cards as you can, and it's like B's Lonely Defender, provided you've got other expensive cards or you've got expensive cards to go with it, it's really good just to fit it in to build up the B's number for literally 0 mana. Yeah, it also doesn't help that some monsters definitely do need nerfing. Right, I am aware of that. So this is going to be in the discard formation. So all we really want to do is have so 4 int I equals 0, I less than. Oh yeah, and we actually do want an argument which will be a list of card SOs original card SOs. Okay, so for int I equals 0, I less than original card SOs dot count, we're going to have card SOs dot add. Oh, boom, that's it, that's everything we want. Okay, right, does that work? Does that work in theory? Okay, so I think that I actually don't know if it, I mean, I'm hoping it just magically works, because that's essentially adding it the opposite way round. So hopefully that will just mean that when we're discarding yeah, anyway, right, so okay, let me stop talking gibberish. If we have a public enum, I've got to remember how to actually sort out enums. So master script, edit script. Okay, we'll call it card arrangement order, and I'm just going to have discard pile. We'll call it alpha enum. At the moment, that's all I need. We don't need a semicolon here, but I'm just going to put one anyway. Right. So now what we can do when we're summoning, let's just find out how many times this is being called. So let's find all the references. Let's have a look. So that's the deck checker script. That's fine. Okay. So what we probably want here is a new argument, which will be card arrangement order. Card arrangement order, sure. And I might have just a public card arrangement order, and we could just call it card order, I guess. Okay. We might have more than this, but this is pretty much all we need so far. So now we've put this argument here. Why not do one better and say card order equals card arrangement order. Okay, now let's follow this down. Speed. So at what point are we actually, let's just find out everything that's going on here. Yeah, this kind of makes sense. Don't need to worry about this. We just got to work out the point in which we're making all of these card SOs. Absolutely fine. No problem. Right, so here, and we may as well do it at the beginning. We're going to have switch card order case card arrangement order dot discard pile break. Now, is this going to be as easy as going underscore card SOs equals get card in discard formation? Get card in discard formation, and then we can actually use our card SOs as an argument. All right, so so that's good. We're going to get a bunch of error messages, which is all fine. Everything's all good. Because all this does is it gets the order and then flips it around. That's literally all this does. So I'm starting with the easy one. Yeah. So let's just check to see if this does work. So let's go. I might as well just quickly. So we've got all these error messages here. So we can just have card script dot card arrangement order dot. We'll have alpha enum. Over here, we want this is for the discard pile, so we want card arrangement dot discard pile, and this is we want this one in alpha enum as well. Even though we haven't done anything, this alpha enum doesn't mean anything at the moment, but this is just checking the discard pile. Oh, KOT fan, let's rock. How's it all going? I still haven't got round to it today. So I was coming off work yesterday, and I just got back in bed. But yeah, I will give that a try. Give that a try soon. Wicked. Oh yeah, by the way, as well. Sorry, and I know this is I do quite a bit of lurking, and I was watching the development of Hex Racer while you were sort of putting it together, and it is actually looking fun. It's looking like one of those quick, like have a little play, not anything too sort of deep sort of games. It just looks quite a lot of fun. But yeah, it's looking good. Right, let's go on to the scene that we want. So we're going to go into main game. Yeah, I think this is still fine. Okay, let's see if we got any error messages. Did I save everything? Yeah, probably. Okay, right. So, play maximized. Okay, right. So if I play this, and then I play this. So in theory, on top of the deck should be the armored defenders, and it's not. It's not. Okay, never mind. Let's just go end turn. I really should have actually thought this through. This does not make it easy, the fact that we've only got two different types of card. So at the moment there's nothing left in the deck, and I press end turn, and then hold on. Oh no, none of this works. Right, press that one and then press that one. Yeah, so I think I have just got the order. I've just not done the code correctly. Let me try and work out. So, card library script. I just want to check that this bit is being called. Yeah, so let me just try and work this out. Oh, hang on a sec. I think I know what the problem is. Oh, really? Oh. Does that work? But what about my really common? Okay, yeah. That sounds absolutely perfect. So hold on. So if I just kind of get rid of that, in fact, we can probably let's just get rid of all this. Oh, really? Oh, and then we can just turn. Okay. All right. So what I think, though, what I should do is at the moment what I'm doing here is I'm actually turning this into that, whereas what I should be doing is saying something like list of card SOs, which we'll call something like desired card order equals that, and just to stop me getting any problems later, I mean, I definitely prefer your version. Right, so we can actually just have desired card order equals that, and then every time we're calling this, yeah, and I just kind of want to do this as well. Desired card order equals underscore card. Now here's where it gets another little interesting thing. I don't know if like this desired card is going to be a flat copy of this, but we can find out. We can find out pretty easily. So if I have public list of card SOs, and we'll have desired card order, and I just need to make sure that I'm using them in a non-symmetrical way, but that shouldn't be too much of a problem. So we've got the desired card order, so this here we can just go get rid of that. Okay, so now that we've actually got them both public, and now let's just quickly have a look at this. Go to definition. So I think, right, how do I do this? Would I have yeah, because I'm not sure if by doing that we're suddenly reversing. In fact, I could just do that, couldn't I? Oh no, maybe not. Okay, all right. Right. If that is the case, okay. This is where we learn about shallow copies and heavy copies. Okay, so so if I have let's find out what happens right now, because we'd want to know if they both get swapped or if one gets swapped. So let's go give that a try. Because that's, yeah, the slight issue is it will essentially, the problem which I'm worried about is if it swaps it when it's showing it, is it going to keep swapping it as I go back and forth? So what we're going to do, we're going to play this and this. All right, we played this one first, and this one's on top. So first of all right, that's good. That's brilliant. All right. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. The world is okay. All right. Okay. So what's happening is it's swapping it back and forth. It's okay. It's very easy to fix. I actually can use some of the original code that I had before. So we can actually, even though this feels incredibly wasteful, it's not really the end of the world. I think by just leaving that in, that kind of works, because I'm making sure that we're not actually changing the original one. So this is all good, but now what we want to do is all the times that we're showing this from the rest of the thing, we're just going to change this bit to desired card order. And anytime, let me just click here so we've got all the bits highlighted. This will be desired card order. Let me go get rid of this for the time being. Right, I think we're there. I think we're there. And then I've got to work out how to... Anyway, it'll be fine. Everything's fine. You know, it's like there's a certain bit where we're going to have to arrange by the card enum, name enum. And that's going to be a little bit trickier. But I kind of want to just kind of go full whack, go for it, and then see how it goes. Right, so we're playing the card... Let's say we're playing the Bees Protector first. I'll take it as a compliment, but I realise I think the thing is I think I just visualise things very slightly differently. Right. So just to check. Oh no, it's still turning around. I wonder why. Let's see what I've done wrong. There's probably something obvious that I've done wrong. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, we just want to have card SOs.reverse and then return card SOs. That's fine. Yeah. Yes, yeah. Yeah, you got it. Okay, right, so is that the key? I mean, like, we probably should have a bit more variety in our deck here. So let's just add, I don't know, anything. We're not adding Boy Royston. I kind of want cheap cards. Army Recruit, sure. Dregs of the Casino. Oh yeah, by the way, Dregs of the Casino needs a fix. Let's go Heart of the Cards. Actually, I shouldn't have done that. Anyway, right. We've got a bit more variety this time. Okay, now let's just check we don't get an error message. Yep, that's fine. Okay, so 1, 2, and 3. So the armoured one should be at the top. Okay, yep, and that's for... Right, that's good. And it's still there. Alright, okay, and it doesn't keep flipping back and forth. Yeah, but I think the hard... There is that certain point. I mean, I don't think I've really lost too much momentum with this game. I think I started over a year ago. I think it's like October in 2021. And I think it is just every day. It's like I quite often, like even when I'm like actually at boring work, I'm kind of thinking of the next thing that I'm going to make, or the next like plan for my game. Right, so this looks good. And what I kind of want to check as well is if we have a look at this, discard. So they're the cards in the discard pile. Now I should be having a variable saying, oh no, it's not there, is it? It's anyway. So that is actually the order that we want it printed. So Dregs of the Casino is at the top. And... sorry. Just talking to myself. Yes, so that is... Yeah, so Dregs is at the bottom, but it's like it does get reversed. So hypothetically now, let's just double check that everything kind of works. If we put in a... a Grave Carvor, and then I just want to check that it does do the correct cards. Right, so anything here. Right, okay. Does make life a little awkward. Turn. So So there's the grave carvor that we wanted to test. Can't do it now. Okay. And then right. Okay. Let's try again. I just need to make sure that I draw grave carvor and there be cards left in the discard pile. Okay. Oh, we're just going to get really unlucky again. So at the moment, okay. Stop attacking. Right, here we go. Right, here we are. Right, so Dregs of the Casino is top, and 3 guard recruits precede that. So it should be Dregs of the Casino and 3 guard recruits. Dregs, guard. Okay, right. Yeah. Yes. It's like this. Right. Anyway, I think we have now sorted that out. Now, right. I just want to check to see if this is still going to give me an error message. No, I think it's still fine. Yeah, unfortunately we can't actually get any more than 1 card there. Unless I do that. Okay, I've got 2. So, and they're the same. So anyway, doesn't matter. Right, okay. That feels like we've done the easy bit. We now just need to do the more difficult bit. Okay, so sorry, you know when you kind of like okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to start kind of like doing the easy parts of the difficult bit, and then just trying to work out the best way of actually doing the difficult bit. So we're going to have public list card SOs, get card list in card enum formation, list of card SOs, original card SOs, I kind of want most of what's here, but not everything. So let's just copy this and paste it and get rid of the things that we need. Okay. Right. Okay, how do we get it in order? So I think first of all, we can actually stick with this. Okay. And then we want to go for int I equals 0, I less than card SOs dot count. And then do we need another for loop for right? Because what we kind of want to do, and actually, can we even swap around here? Is it better to do an array? Okay, so what we need to get everything in order. So I do understand that we want all of the card enums. So what we're looking for, I might have to just stare at a few things to try and make sense of them while I'm doing this. So we've got resources. These are the card SOs. So like, we need to, these are actually all given a number. So this card enum, a Bombay Nation would effectively equal 0. So if we actually hover over, so I can kind of make sense of things. So here is the, so look, if you hover over, it will say a Bombay Nation equals 0, Angry Chuck equals 1. So we now need to actually work out a good way of ordering these. Right, okay. let's have a look. Yeah, again, this feels like if you're really new into programming, you come up with some really kind of inventive, clever code here. So, yeah, hold on. For int j equals I, j less than card SOs dot count, I think -1 j plus plus. Okay, so if card SOs I right, just got to remember how to actually get everything in the correct order. Yeah, I mean, like, because the thing is the problem is I've come into this problem multiple times before, and I've always just been like, how can we? Because essentially we just need a number sorter. We need a way of arranging it, and also I'm not sure how easy it is to arrange. Oh, hold on. Okay. Oh, there is, you know what, there's a bit more intensive but lazier method of doing this, and I might do that. Okay. Alright, there is. So, it still won't be perfect because it won't deal with... Okay. Yeah, okay. Alright. Okay, I think we're going to do a lazy method, and then... Oh, what do I... Hang on a sec. All right, just a sec. Okay. Oh, really? Oh, is this gonna just... Oh, man. Okay. I mean, this does sound a lot better than my technique. So, let's see. By is that a curly brackets? Oh no, that's just a parenthesis. Yeah. Okay. Let's have a look. So can I actually just put the particular function? So let's have a look. Sorry, by the way, I'm loving this. This original. Something's wrong here. So let's have a look. Oh, okay. Sorry. Yep, I know what's happening. It's heavily implying that if I press original card SOs dot because unfortunately we're trying to name we're trying to get hold of one specific thing. So if I was to have, say, original card SOs say 3 dot card enum, and that's basically the order in which we're looking to get it through. Order by. Let's actually have a look at what this does exactly. So, oh, hold on. Let's have a look. I might have to use because my original technique I can do, but it's very, very ugly. Whereas this looks like a lot better. So I can't just have card. Oh yeah. So I've just got to work out the how to actually put the variables. Let's have a look. So, oh, hold on. Yeah, the only problem is because I can't. So here's where it gets a bit interesting. If I go into the card SOs, so the big thing that we're looking to go by is this card enum. Now I'm not sure if I need to type card name enum or card enum or both. Because if I type card enum here, so let's have a look. So that'll be in the brackets. Yeah. So that's, yeah, it's just where I'm a little bit stuck. In fact, why don't I just quickly go into the I'm going to quickly just use my friend Uncle DuckDuckGo to to work out some problems and then type it out and make it look as though I'm like really smart. So it's like, oh, I'm just thinking really, really hard. Just yeah. Seeing if I can actually make a bit of sense by this. Because I think, yeah, sometimes it's just using, yeah, it's again, thinking really hard. This is a, okay, here we go. So let me have a, okay, all right. Okay, right. I'll be honest with you. It's saying using P, but I have no idea what that P is referring to at that point. Because at no point has anyone introduced what P means. So. Oh yes. Okay. Ah, right. Okay, one sec. Hold on. Right. So let's see if I can let's see if I can make sense of this. So I'm just going to green that out for the time being. So let's have a look. Actually, yeah, var, forget var for the time being. So I'm looking like an idiot here, I do apologise. So when we're actually, the sorted list itself, is that a, let's have a look. Dot. Oh, I see. Oh, okay. Okay. Does that work? Ooh, okay. All right. Okay, I'm liking this. Okay, return there. Okay. All right. We'll give that a shot. We probably don't need any of this. Do we actually need this as well? Do we actually need to add the original one? So you know what? We'll do a bit of experimenting. So first of all, let's actually implement this. I do apologise. I'm sorry that I'm pretty slow on this because this feels actually. I didn't realise that at this point here, where we've got the word card, we have just created this out of nothing. So that word card means nothing. That's what kind of like perplexed me for a little while. So now we can have desired card order equals get card list. And I've probably got more code here than I need. So we'll have to do a bit of trial and error to check to see if this does work. But let's, yeah. Oh yes, yes, that's a good point. Yes, so I could actually, if we do actually sort all this out here, I could in theory just have card SOs there, because I'm slightly worried about that I'm actually going to change the order of the original card set, which is not what I want to do. So let's give that a try. So we'll know that it works. Oh, hold on. Oh my word. Oh my god. Oh, good God. Okay, this has worked. I did not expect this. That sounded, just to confirm, we are in alphabetical. Look, B, D, G, A, B, C, F, G, H. Yes. Okay, right. At the moment, this does work. Okay. I don't know if that's just phenomenal luck that that's happened. Because I was not expecting it to work first time. And it hasn't, in a good way, hasn't come out in the order which is shown. So that's useless. So here, A, B, C, D, F, G. Oh, I think this has worked. I think it's just simply worked. That's brilliant. Okay, all right. Yeah. Well, I know that around sort of Christmas time, I was doing. Actually, no, I can't remember. There was a particular coding, like Code Wars, and I managed to do this really, really clever bit of code, which sorted out, and I can't even remember exactly what I was trying to do, but it literally took me 30 lines of code, and then your answer was literally 1 line of code. Right, and I was like, but mine's got more character. Yeah, I think, I mean, but this is looking good. This is exactly what we're after. But the important thing as well to note is, so here's the 6 cards. We're not going to just necessarily get it in that exact order. So I just want to confirm that is right. Because it's essentially arranging it. Yeah, so... yeah, look, A, B, yeah, okay, that's brilliant. Right, fantastic. Okay, so that has, that's essentially dealt with a massive problem. And it will also mean that you get to see your cards in a slightly more structured order on the map screen as well. So massive, massive win. Okay, right. Now let's start crunching through the list. I thought that might have taken me a little while longer, but I'm really glad. Right. Yes, when hovering over a tile that isn't active, it still shows the text, but it's half off the screen. So let's go create that problem, and then let's go blast it. Let's rock. Okay. Let's go into scenes, test map. Yeah, I guess we can save that. It's not doing us any harm. Let's see what's going down here. Right. Okay, so but that's a bad example, but I kind of want to make it so that maybe you just can't hover over anything unless you're on the desired island, or if you're here, because here I'm fine hovering over stuff. I know that it's actually cutting off a bit at the bottom there, but that's okay, and you still can't click on any of these, which is good. But yeah, so make sure that whenever you're hovering over, it can only see it if you're on the physical island or if you're fully zoomed out. Right, that shouldn't be too hard. Where do we go from here? I think we probably want to have tile, I think. Let me just. I think island tile go. Destiny tile script, that's good. Let's edit script. Get rid of that for the time being. Yeah. We'll do one bit at a time, but yeah, completely agree. We kind of want to make it so that it somehow works out that it won't necessarily go where the mouse is, but it won't clip off at the bottom of the screen. I mean, there is a really good technique that I could do I could simply just mean when it zooms out, it just zooms out a bit further. But I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. That's the lazy method, and I want to be do a more productive method. Right. So let's go close all but this. Did I actually? So what we kind of need to do, hoverman call script. So what we should do is so I'm actually using this hover info callman script on multiple things. So we just want to make sure that it's only active. So let me try and work out the best way of doing this. Because we're using it for quite a few things. So if I start delving into this, yeah, I've got to try and work out a good way around this. So what I kind of want to do is have something like public bool can be hovered, and then upon awake we just have can be hovered equals get component bool equals true. Alright, so that way, regardless of wherever I'm using this, it won't have much like change, so that's fine. If can be hovered, then we do all of that. And then I think I can assume this will doesn't matter whether can be hovered, it will destroy it all the time anyway. So that's a good start. We haven't fixed anything here, but we just need to now have a way of altering our hover info callman script. So how do we do that? Let's go Control M. I'm pretty sure when you summon it, we deal with that problem. Oh, maybe not. Point at enter. Okay. So, I think there might be somewhere here when we're creating these Destiny tile scripts that we're assigning it. So if I go File, find all the references, we'll probably find somewhere that we're accessing the hoverman. Why did I call it this name? Let's go look here instead. Right, this is the bit where we get to it. So okay, right, I think this is still relevant. I don't know if I've got the best method for working this out, but why don't I have something like a private hoverman call info script, and we'll call it that. That's fine. And then upon awake, we're going to have underscore hoverman info call script equals get component I think there's just get component in children is there, so it's going to find where this is somewhere. All right, and then we just got to work out when to actually when to make this Boolean true or false. So we've got access there. And I have a feeling this Destiny tile class, actually it might be there as well. Let's go to this definition. So that's it. Okay. So we're going to have public void alter hoverman. I'm not sure exactly when we're going to call that. I'm going to say if now we've got a particular Boolean which is like fully zoomed out. I've just got to work out where that is. Zoomed out. Okay. If map test script dot instance dot zoomed out underscore hoverman call dot can be hovered equals true. Else if this is a big kind of complicated if one that we can sort of work out, and it's something like if IPC dot turnint is equal to gameinfoscript dot instance dot big daddy map class dot progressint, then that equals true, and then else that equals false. And so we just need to change this every time. We just need to like call upon all of these and to do this every time we zoom in and out. Yeah, okay. So how do we actually get hold of all these Destiny tile scripts? So that we should have a function somewhere here which gets hold of all the tiles. And I think we've got something like central island classes. So yeah. So yeah, we'll need to call upon all of these CI classes. Given that this is public, let's go have a quick look at this. Let's see if we've got any error messages straight away. Oh really? Oh yes, of course. I think that's yeah. Yeah, I realised that. Like, I don't know. I think maybe Nina should be behind the tile. I'm not sure. Right. Anyway, we're fixing. Let's go turn that one off and go back in. So that's all good. Let's get rid of this. Let's go. I think actually in the map test scripts, CI classes. Right. Ah, yes. Okay. And hopefully, I think these are. Yeah. So we need to check. The Destiny tile scripts. That's it. Okay. So it's attached to the CI classes. Okay. So that's kind of what I wanted to check. So. So right at the bottom here, we can add a new script, which will be public void alter hoverman on tiles, and then for int I equals not I less than CI classes dot length for J CI classes I dot Destiny tile scripts dot length, and then we want to go if. Let's first of all check this does actually exist. CI classes I dot underscore Destiny tile scripts J is not equal to null. Then alter hoverman. Okay, right. So this should, and we just got to work out when we're going to call this. So it's probably to do with zooming, but let's find out everything that's happening when we're actually creating the Destiny map. So we're creating it here. This is the routine. Yeah, just got to find out exactly when we're actually zooming in. So this is sorted out all the CI classes. Oh, so we've got the set readiness, which is probably what we could have gone through that line, but that's not the end of the world. So I think at this point here we can have CI. No, so we're going to alter the hoverman tiles there, and then when we're actually zooming as well, so when we're actually zooming, unfortunately I've got quite a big chunky algorithm here. So sort routine, I think after it's done all of this zooming, we can just have alter hoverman tiles. Right, okay. I reckon my prediction is about 26%. This is going to work perfectly first time. All right, 26%. Okay. Right. So you can't hover over now, which is fine. That's good. Okay, can I hover over this one? No. And I can hover over that. Okay, all right. All right, I can't hover over that. I can, can't hover over that. Can on that. Okay, so it's working. At the moment, it's working. And I can't oh, wait a sec. Ah, right. So, yep, I know the problem. I know the problem. Okay, try again. Try again. That's pretty good for a first attempt, though. I pressed the wrong button. Right, so the only reason it didn't work then is because it didn't check the Boolean at the right time. So it actually was checking. So you can hover over this, you can't hover over this. Brilliant. You can hover over whatever you like here. So that's good. And then, but if we go back in, you can't hover over this, you can hover over that. Okay. All right. Okay. Fantastic. Right. So what we kind of should work on next is, I mean, number one, I'm a little bit annoyed that this bit is covering there. But I'm not going to worry too much about that for the time being. What I do want to deal with, however, is when we're hovering over, if it's actually going underneath the screen, I kind of want to deal with that. So how do we do that? Okay. Huh. So, I mean, one thing that I probably could do. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's definitely an idea. The only problem is you kind of want to see that as well. But yeah, you could hide that panel, or you could just shrink it down a bit. I mean, the other kind of obvious answer is we've got this main camera. What if I just turn that to 20 or something like that? Okay, well, I mean, it's just, yeah, like do it in the official lines, and like we could just zoom it out a little bit further. So I kind of want to just experiment with that, because that's the only problem is that does feel a little bit like I'm cheating. So there's a certain point where I somehow worked out the maths that zooming out to the orthographic size of 17 made really good sense, and I can't remember exactly how I actually came to that conclusion. So let's find out. Change orthographic size. So that's when it's zoomed out and it's going back in. So let me just kind of do a little bit of a cough. Just go. No one saw any of that, right? No one saw it. Right. No one saw it. We got away with it. Okay. All right. That kind of dealt with the problem like perfectly, hasn't it? Right. Okay. Does it zoom back in? Okay. I mean, do I just pretend that cough? Like, I mean, come on, that has kind of dealt with the problem altogether, hasn't it? Yeah. How did I do it? Right. Well, I just changed that number from 2 to 5, and then that kind of dealt with it. I was assuming I was going to run into more problems, to be honest. I thought that was going to lead to other problems, but it didn't, did it? I'm just a little bit suspicious. Okay, right. So I had all these other plans of actually ways of dealing with it, but I'm kind of okay with doing it this way. Yeah, because now you can hover over. Because I was kind of looking forward to working out the technique of if you have any information at the edge of the screen, whether you're hovering over something on the far left, the far right, the bottom, or whatever. If ever it doesn't fit in the screen, you can clunk it over so it does fit in the screen. I was looking forward to working on that, but I don't even know if that's necessary, to be honest. I just kind of want to check that you can still kind of play. Yeah. Okay. All right. So actually, now let's deal with the other problem. Oh, yes, actually, boom. I do want to sort out another big problem. So it's going to be sort of two things at once. So, yeah. I see it. Yeah, no one's going to want that. And I think it's more problematic if you're playing on, you're not playing in the Unity thing, because that means you just need to hover right at the bottom of the screen. So yeah, like, so there's multiple ways of doing this. The absolute laziest method is, right now I'm spitballing ideas, right? This is a terrible idea. I really like, I think that the thing is, sometimes the laziest methods can be the best methods. Right, so a way of dealing with this is if I were to just go, we go onto the main camera and we just go, we add a 2D square. Actually, yep, and then we add component box collider. We put it there. We make it right, say it's at the frontier, and then we just put 100 or something. And then we make the size along the Y, say 20. And then, to be honest, we don't even really need the sprite renderer, right? And then that problem never occurs again. I think so. Anyway, hold on. Huh. How come I can still hover from this point? In theory, I should be on... Okay, no, right, okay, still got the problem. Yes. Oh, yes. That would be another method. Like, because part of me, the important thing is, I want to make sure when you hover over a card, you get to see the entire card. So, like, the fact that it's... so, I do want you to be able to see that. So, what happened to my... Oh, yeah, of course. I think that... Let's try and work out why that isn't working. Where did I had it here. Right. I wonder why that isn't actually, because that should, in theory, be blocking everything off. Because we've got it should be in front of everything. I'm not really sure why. Anyway, I'll worry about that. Yes, yeah, each card has its collider. And I've just got to check. Maybe I'm pretty sure it does anyway. Yeah, here we go, box collider. Oh, it might just be because I've turned the sprite renderer off and it's just made it. So if I just go turn that into none, and then we turn it back on. That still hasn't actually dealt with the problem. Yeah, so at the moment it's more like kind of, I'm aware this is a problem, and that's something that I definitely want to work on. I'm just trying to work out a good sort of method. Yes, Lakia, yes. Oh my, this is why I thank you, Lakia. Yes, that, I think that would literally just deal with the problem in its entirety. Yes. Yeah, why didn't I do that? Yeah, okay. Yeah, that sounds absolutely fine. Yeah. Right, so what we need to do is, it's the card go, where we have this box collider, we can edit this. Something like that would probably fix the problem in its entirety. So, oh yeah, of course, probably we need to. Yeah, but that's fine. That's fine. Will that cause any other problems later on? I guess we'll have to run into them as we go, because I don't even know if it needs to be that big. So what I will do is, first of all, yeah, okay, that's entirely dealt with the problem. All right, I'm just trying to work out how small an increase I can make it so that it's, yeah. So one thing that is interesting, yeah. Do you mean this? Because here, this has got a different. This literally the only thing that's going to be affected are the physical these game objects here. It won't affect anything here, because this is actually technically a different game object to. Yeah, so these cards here are called something else. Individual library card goes, whereas these specific ones here, yeah. So I think. It's good of you to actually think about that, but I don't think that will be an issue. Yeah, I'm trying to work out if I can get away with making it. Let's go find out if I go play back on focused, and then we select there. Select the card go. You know what? That's all right. That's all right. I'll live with that. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Right. Fantastic. All right. Another problem dealt with. We've still got some. Oh yes. Right. Okay. Boom. Easy one. Easy one next. It might not be that easy, but let's go for it. Let's go see if we can fix it. We're going to go back into the main. Because yeah, it's something that we were discussing in Discord. If we go into the main game, right. Oh yeah, actually, I probably better have this on a slightly more. Let's go back into play maximized. Right, here is the problem. And we're going to hopefully sort a few things out in one go. So, right. Oh, I want to play guard recruit. Okay. Right. Now I want to play army. Oh, okay. Everything gets in the way. Right. So when you're doing one click, right? I want like the actual card, while it's specifically if you do the one click version, for it to scoot up into the middle of the screen and then spin, or like spin while it's moving up. So that way you can click more cards in one go. So that shouldn't be too hard. But what we kind of want to do as well is activate, have on the menu some sort of option here. And I don't really know where to put it. It could be, say, underneath these ones, but just like in the middle here, saying like one card click. And yeah, I've got to work out a good logical place to put it. And yeah, and it should be something like one card click, active. Yeah, or maybe just one card click, all in one button, and with a tick or a cross. I think that's good. And we can use similar. I think we'll use this colour, because this colour just indicates that it's just settings that you're changing, and this is what's doing it. So I think it should be a button this size, but this colour, saying one card click with either a tick or a cross. Oh yeah. So I think that's what we'll work on now. I haven't actually drawn a picture yet, but I think we've got to make a start somewhere. So I think I can go sprites. Right, get rid of that one there. Open this one here. And hopefully I've kept everything in the same buttons place. It's not actually that one that I'm after. It's not. Yeah, don't worry, I'll find it. Yeah, this is what we're after. So let's go into this one. And I'm just going to go Alt B, B, which gives you extra empty spaces. I'm just going to copy this, chuck this in here. And we want to change the colours and change the text. We want to change a few things. So let's get rid of that. G there. All right, here we're going to press T, and we're going to have. We always want Comic B, D, because that's my favourite font. And we'll say, right, how can I try and break it down? One click cards. That's short enough, isn't it? Yeah. One click card. Yeah, okay. Right, that's obviously the size and the colour that we needed. T, let's try 50. Because we kind of need enough space to put in a tick and a cross as well. So that probably needs to be a little bit smaller. Let's try 40. And then we kind of want it as central as possible. And then we just need it black, don't we? So if I press Shift O, it's okay, Shift O again, and then I'm going to move it down just a little bit, and then we go Control CV. Right. It still feels as though it's a little bit low down, so something like that. And then we want maybe a box with a cross. I'm kind of making this up as we go along, as you can probably tell. So yeah, we want a box with either a tick or a cross on. I haven't implemented any of this, but that's what we want though, because some people really like the one click cards, and some people don't. So it's good to have a sort of variety. And then do I actually kind of give this a slightly 3D feel as well? So Control CV. Yeah, that's all right. Now we just need to get hold of the cross. I think we've actually got quite an easy cross to get hold of here. Let's see. Put this one on top still. And then I've just got to work out where I've got a... oh no, although that implies that it's like the checkbox is checked. No, it's fine, it's fine. Now we've got to get a hold of a tick, which I'm going to work on now. I think somewhere in this folder, I'm pretty sure somewhere I must have something which vaguely resembles a tick. In fact, it could be in buttons. Not that one. Yeah, I think I can probably just steal that tick and just change the colour. So if I press Alt-N, get rid of that. I've copied the wrong thing. Control-C, Control-V. Let's just change the colour. Okay. Right, so now we just need to make the buttons go down. One-click cards, yeah. Yeah, that looks alright, doesn't it? Okay, right. So a big thing which I'm going to have to deal with is this will be a whole extra boolean that I'm looking to add. Yeah. Oh, what? One better. Why don't I just do this? Yeah, I think that's good. Just a tick or no tick. I think that's probably better, isn't it? Yeah. Right. Okay. Right, so now we just need to get everything to sort of shift down. And I've got to work out exactly. So if I press Alt-N, and then we go M, then here, Alt-N, M, yeah, okay. Alright, so now I'm going to go Control Save and then Control Shift S will save as PNG. Yep, I think we can afford to overwrite. So I think that's everything we've done. We need to do there. Let's just work out where we were at. Not there. I keep clicking on that. These are the new ones that we're looking to add. And now I've got to find out in my resources where I put it. So resources, sprites, buttons. Nope, I put them in somewhere else. It could be menu, UI. Okay, so there's multiple ways I can find it. I was hoping I was just going to kind of just chance upon it. Escape menu sprites, that looks good actually. Let me just see what's... Yeah, that's right. So I guess I just put in a new one. Individual menu button sprites. I guess we can put them there, that's fine. So I'm just highlighting them over here. Chucking these bad boys over there. And then let me go have a bit more space here. 128 is the key number that we're after. 128. Point. Let's get rid of that for the time being. None and apply. So I think we can now go into the escape menu and work out how we can actually change it. So yeah, we just follow the line. Because I will have to shift everything down, and I'm just slightly worried that there's not going to be enough space to fit everything. But yeah, we can fit in another button there. So menu, escape menu, clone. That's probably it, isn't it? Let's go edit this script. Let's close all but this. So let's find out what's going on here. So we probably, let's just have a look. Let's see what we're actually creating here. We've got the resume button, the volume button, go. And by this, I'm guessing that let me have a look. Okay, all right. Sorry, this isn't. I mean, to me, I find this quite funny. What I've done is the volume button, like game object, is actually the same as the sound effects thing. That's what I found a bit confusing. So what we'll need to do now is just create. Create something about here. Where I'm just going to put in green here, create one click card button toggle. So we probably better start by actually making the game object itself. So first of all, it probably makes sense if we go into, so I'm not going to add this into my save or load. So for the time being, it's just going to be like it will either stay by default as on or off, regardless of whether you're saving or loading. Purely because that's a whole extra challenge that I've got to deal with. Because if you try to load a game, it's going to say, like, let's just say we've got a boolean that we've saved that's going to be one click card active, and it'll be either true or false. Then people that have already got my current version, if they get an update, it will just won't play. It will break everything, and I want to try and come up with a good way to fix that. Okay, right. So what was I doing? Trying to remember. Oh, yeah. Okay. So we've got prefabs. And oh yeah, of course, I just need to find the route in which I find all of these things. So escape menu stuff, that's what we're after. Escape menu stuff. Exit game. You know what? We're just going to go, let's have a look at this. This is exit menu. We're going to duplicate this and then change it to our bidding. So Control D. All right, now we're going to change this to escape menu, toggle one card click button, and for continuity we're going to put that one there. That's weird. What have I done wrong? Okay, I think it's fine. Yes, okay. Right. Yes, that's good. So we've got that there, and then we just need to get rid of this. I don't think we could actually somehow pile on the same bit of code into this one, so we'll create a separate script, but we'll keep a close eye on this. And I think before we continue, so let's let me edit this script just so we got it open, and then remove component. And now we want to have scripts, escape menu scripts. I'll just create another one here. Create C# script, escape menu, one card click. No, sorry. I'm just gonna wait for it to load out. I want to change it because I realise these are more general stuff. I should be storing it there. And since I've already named it one thing, it's an absolute pain to rename it unless I just delete it and then create it again. Right. So let's go change, create C# script, because I kind of like to keep the names of a similar theme. Escape menu, one card click button script. Okay. And it's as if Visual Studio is, what, you've created a new script, let me bring this up for you. Are you going to open the script at the same time? No, we just want to let you know that Visual Studio still exists. We're still here. Right, so this is our blank slate that we're looking to work with. We can use a lot of this, let's be honest. So let's find out all the things. Let me just see all the things that I can use. So I'm just going to go Control C, Control V, and then change all the things that we need. Right, so the sprites are going to actually be a bit more difficult. So we're going to come back to this, don't worry. Before I continue though, we do need a boolean of some description that actually deals with this. So if we go into the game info script, I think roughly where we have all this music stuff, we could also have a public bool one card click. I'll put active there. Okay. So that's roughly what we're sort of going for. So protected override sprites, we're going to have switch game info script dot instance dot one card active case true break and then we just want to fill all this in and then do something similar for when it's not active. Right, so resources, sprites, escape menu sprites. So 15, 16, 17 and 18. So I'm going to go copy path. Control V. Get rid of the stuff that we don't need. And then we just change these numbers the way that we see fit. So actually, why don't we start with false here? So that'll be 15 and 16. And then true is going to be 17 and 18. This all seems fine. Set scripts. I'm guessing we probably need to do that. So upon active, upon activate, we don't want to do any of this. In fact, let's go get rid of this altogether. And we probably don't want this either. So what we kind of want to do is public void toggle one card click And then here we're going to have toggle one card click. So the nice thing is where it's got activate here, there is actually some code behind in this Destiny generic thing that essentially deals with the fact that you press a button and let go and it will react. So what we want to do is have gameinfoscript.instance. Oh, boom! Wow! Okay, alright, yep, okay, fair enough. That's exactly what we were after. And then we probably just want to set sprites. Oh man, I think that's all we need to do. I think that's it. Alright, okay. So we have got this. It's still setting this up, but that shouldn't be too much of a problem. Okay, so where we're going now is on the escape menu base script. Right underneath here, let's go give a bit of space. We can have a private game object, which we'll call one card click button go. And then over here, we're going to have one card click button go equals resources dot load game object. So now we just need to get hold of the thing. So where are we? Right, so prefabs, escape menu stuff, this bad boy here, let's copy path. Oh, by the way, sorry, something that I properly take for granted, I do it always. The reason that I'm copying this path, I go into copy path, is that essentially tells me, literally outside of Unity, right, or anything, basically that's saying the folders that you need to go through in order to reach this destination, right? So if I were to so now I've copied it, it's in my clipboard, and I paste, I get all of this, right? Now, I think a little while ago, and it's something that I've always droned on about how every Unity game that you're making, you absolutely critically need to create a folder that's called resources, that's spelt that way with a capital R, resources, otherwise this whole trick of being able to say resources.load will never ever work, right? And the purpose of all of this, it means that I can get access to whatever game object or literally anything I like by using this resources.load function, right? It's something where I was actually, you don't realise how important it is until you realise, it's one of those things when I remember back in the day when I got a PS3, and then one day I actually literally after having it for about a year or so, I then realised you can hook up the HDMI cable and suddenly the picture quality is oh my gosh, wow, those things were originally blobs. Now I can actually see they are identifiable icons. It was magical. So this whole concept of using resources.load was absolutely just breathtaking. Sorry, so I do that a lot, but I feel every now and then I need to stop and just say, this is really, really useful when you know how to use it. It's absolutely brilliant. Right. Anyway, so we've got access to this game object. We haven't actually tested to see if it works yet, but I reckon it'll be fine. Come on, it'll probably be fine. So now we've got to get the maths exactly right. So starting Y. Oh, fantastic. Look, we're even doing all of this. So what I probably can do is copy. I can't quite copy it word for word, but we're going to have one escape menu, one click card button script. That's really wordy, isn't it? Okay, equals instant. So basically I'm looking at what's happening here because I've noticed where we've got the starting Y, this is essentially the right increment so that everything will fit in, I think. So instantiate one card click button go, base trans. Yep, that's all good. That's exactly the stuff that we want. It's really useful. Sometimes the autocorrect really is useful. So now we just want to set this up. So I think. Wow! Look at this. That's exactly what we're after. I think. Starting Y minus equals 1.1 F. Line counter plus plus, and then I want to go. Sorry, itchy eye. Dot set scripts. This. I don't think we essentially need to do this, but I'm going to do it anyway. So at the moment, we haven't actually got this boolean that we're altering doing anything, but I think this will essentially, let's see if this works. The reason I'm doing all of this is because I actually want to do something quite fun with the one-click thing, but sorry, there we are. Right. So let's just see if it just magically appears. Let's see if we've done all the work. If we've done our groundwork. It's not there, is it? We're getting an error message. No. Right, okay. Where are we up to? Oh, yep. It's alright. No, everything was fine. There was no problem whatsoever. There was nothing. I'll tell you what. Right, yeah, you know what? Like, wherever you are in the stream, there's a crazy three-headed monkey behind you. There's nothing to see here at all. I didn't forget anything. Don't worry. Like literally, no one spotted anything. Yeah. So I tell you, yeah. What is? Yeah. Look at responding to the responding. Oh God. I don't have time. Oh God. I just okay. Yeah, responding to the thing. No, nothing's fine. Yeah, right. Yeah, so it was just a magical anomaly as to why it didn't work. There was nothing. I haven't done anything different, so it might, Right. Okay. Good. I think I sizably got away with it. Right. Brilliant. Oh, boom. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, I'm quite happy with that. Sorry. Okay. Sorry, I probably shouldn't get that excited. Right, okay, one-click cards. Yeah, that sounds good. Right, now we actually need to make it do something. And what we want is... I wonder if I've still got it open. Probably not, actually. We need the card go. And then card script. Let's edit this. And we've called it the double click check routine. We probably should rename that. In fact, let me go rename that now. Rename to one click check routine. And now I think it's literally as simple as if gameinfoscript.instance.one card click active, then we do this. So let's give it a test. So at the moment, nothing's going on. Doesn't matter how much we click because it's switched off. But if I switch it back on and resume game, it works. Right. And then if we switch it back off. Oh, no, didn't need to do that. Resume game. Talking of which, This is saying it's jumping forward 2, but there's only 1 space. That's easily fixed. Well, it's not actually that easily fixed, but I do want to fix that soon. So the reason being is there's a certain monster that instead of just jumping forward 1 each time, it has a 50-50 chance of either jumping forward twice or jumping forward once and enraging and becoming stronger. And so, like, with that particular monster, when there's only 1 spot left, that 50-50 randomizer is still there. Meaning that, like, when you see it's jumping forward 2, it doesn't really mean anything. It's only jumping forward 1. So I could change it so that it detects how many jumps there are left, and if it's only 1 jump left, this one just swaps like default to just jumping forward once. That's what I'm thinking. But we're worrying about that later. We're going to do something fun. It'll be fun. Okay, right. So we're on the card script. This is the 1 card click active thing. And what essentially this does is it detects if, let me close this one and open this one, the double click is ready. Okay, so let's follow exactly what's happening here and see if we can fix this. Because we've got to work out, I think, the point in which it starts spinning. So it's creating the sound effects, that's brilliant. The card sparkle script is detaching, and whatever that means, it's doing that. It's removing itself from the hand, and I think that kind of like essentially tells the rest of the hand to move back in. And I'm pretty sure there's a bit where it starts spinning around, but I can't remember. Let's have a look. Flipping cards. Flip cards. So what we kind of want to do is about here we want to move card to roughly the center of the screen. So that's brilliant. That's basically that. This is the key point in which we want to do it, but we want to check to see if this double click ready is true. I really should rename some of these. So something like, so really it's if double click ready, then we want to do that. All right, but that's just green text saying, you know, currently, even though we do live in a world with ChatGPT where I could just say this and it would do it, I would rather code it myself. So how are we going to do this? First of all, I'm going to rename this to 1 click ready. So now let's find out exactly what's happening with the card flipping, because I don't want to accidentally change everything else. So let's go here, go to this definition. Flip routine. So this is where it's doing the rotating. Yeah, this is fine. Yeah, so it's doing the rotating, but it's not actually doing any of the moving yet. So, because I kind of want it to just spend like sort of literally half a second. So if I go something like int chum, actually, oh yeah, we can't use chum. Oh, in fact, we've probably used it somewhere else. Yeah, okay, so we can just have chum. Okay. Chum equals mover.instance dot move to point bounce y, and I think we can just simply put in the card trans. This is experimental stuff. It might create loads of other problems, but we'll find out, because we've already essentially detached the card, I believe, and I just need to check that it still will move. Yeah, look. Yeah, this is fine. This is fine. Okay. So we're moving it to there. The destination, we're going to have something like new vector 3, and we're going to go random dot range, and because we want it roughly in the center, but you don't want it to be in exactly the same pot spot every time. So what if I did something like minus 0.5f 0.5f, because that's still nearish the center, and then we do the same again for random dot range minus 0.5f 0.5f. So that's the position. And the time to take, I think 0.25, and because I want it to happen quick, and the height, let's just try 1.0f. That might be the wrong one to go for. And then I can just put that in there. Yeah, let's give that a shot, shall we? All right. I still don't 100% know if this is going to work, but let's find out. Because, yeah, all right. So at the moment it's still defaulted to being off, so I still can drag and do that like normal. Okay, and it's currently set on off, so I can't click anything right yet, but I'll turn this on. Didn't work at all, did it? I wonder why. Did I forget to save it? Oh, I see. One click ready is made equal to false here. And that was probably for a good reason. So what we can do is have a boolean one click rush to center, one click rush to center equals one click ready. All right, so yeah, and that does make a bit of sense. So we're setting this before we're switching it off. So if one click rush to center is true, then this will be true. Like, because there was a good reason as to why I made this false at this point. I can't remember what it was, but I think it kind of messes everything up if it doesn't. So now we're just going to have a separate boolean that's just saying like, was the one click ready actually activated? If so, then boom, we're going to do this at this point. So let's give this another shot. Okay, right, so one click, resume game. So obviously the sparkliness still doesn't feel 100% right, does it? But this way you can now kind of like put a bunch of things on. So this is kind of working all right, but the sparkles don't feel super great. So I'll have to have a look at that. So I think that still looks okay. Right, let me just try and work out why the sparkly thing just feels as bad as it does. So if I go, hold on, Control Shift P. Okay, right. Let's try again. So what we're looking at, in fact, it might even be better in this circumstance to take it out of 2D. And then I've lost where I am. Okay. So now, if I just go... Oh, I see. So what's actually happening with these sparkles? I think I'm looking at it. Am I looking at this wrong angle? Yeah, okay. So the sparkles are not exactly going where I want them to go. It looked fine. It looked fine. It definitely looked fine. It looked fine before. I might worry about that a bit later, because yeah, obviously those sparkles do feel a bit cheap now, don't they? But I've got another little thing to experiment with, which might actually, it might not be quite as difficult. So play. Oh, this is weird seeing it all in 3D. So I've got the sparkle PE. And oh, of course, we're currently paused. Alright, let's have a look. Oh, Gliss, let's rock! Wicked. How are we doing? Oh yeah, I've got to hassle you to play my latest iteration of the game. It's on Steam at the moment. Just the sort of playtest version, but yeah, it's feeling pretty good. I'm fixing a few bugs at the moment, and a big one which I'm working on right now is the ability to just click a card instead of having to drag it up. So yeah, so that it's a bit sort of faster. You know, there's a bit more momentum. But how's everything rocking your side? Right, so we're going to just go back onto play focused. Ah, yes, so that's where the sparkle is. But we can actually try and work out exactly what's going on. So if I were to simulation space, go onto local. So hypothetically, if this was local, and I pressed it, it still would have the same issue. Okay, I'll worry about that sparkle later. Right, yeah, I'll come back to that later. That's more one of those things which is probably going to be a bit more effort for me to try and do whilst streaming. Right, we've got some more fun things that we're looking to do. Let me just do one quick analysis. Oh, I've got a really tiny screen here. This doesn't look right. So 1, 2, 3. Yeah, okay. Alright, that's good. Right, so I'm going to kind of work our way down a list. Yeah. Right. Oh yes, right, there's a few fun little things. So, number one, this is a big thing. It's not that big a thing, but we have an issue with a particular card that implies it does something and it doesn't. So that's what we're going to work on now. I say work on it, we're pretty much almost done. Just me saying it out loud. So we've got sustained attack. Now, here, key ink type, if we just go to MISC, then I think that will deal with a certain issue. Oh, are they? Oh, hold on. Is that in my current stream or in the game that you've played? Oh yes. Yes. If that is the case, I probably could just have it so that the default starting like volume is just a bit lower. Obviously that won't affect yours, but if you press the little cog in the corner, it'll lower it down. But now that you mention it, that's been multiple people that have mentioned that. So why don't we fix that now? So where we've got the save load script edit, and go Control MO. Upon reset, I've got the FX volume as 1.0, but we could just change that to say 0.5 and 0.5. So that way it's going to be quite quiet, and then people will just be like, oh yeah, that sounds a bit quiet, and then they can turn it up. Obviously that won't affect anything. Oh, are they? Oh, right. Oh, I apologise. Let's have a think. I've got to try and work out. I think if I actually just lower this master volume, that might help a little bit. But I wanted to change that anyway, because when people are playing the game, it does come across quite loud anyway. But I'll be aware of that. In fact, let me turn that down now. Cool, and I think if I just go resume and then just exit or whatever, I think that should just save it anyway. Right, fantastic. Okay, right. So that's good. Right. So we're working our way through the lists. Heart tiles on the island say restore health. Yes, you are entirely right. Okay, let's go. Let's see if we're lucky enough to be able to create a scenario where I can actually see the tile. In fact, it's going to be so easy to fix. I'm not even going to worry too much. I can just go into here, and I think there's going to be a string somewhere which is like get island string, create monster. No, I don't care about that. It looks like I'll have to actually find it. So if I go back to... oh, it still hasn't saved it. Okay. Oh, no, that's because it's not saved. That's because it shouldn't be saving. Sorry. So, yes, I actually do have a Mac version. It's on itch at the moment. I would recommend the one card click. But at the moment, I've only just introduced this, so I haven't made it available for everyone. But that will mean that it's like if you click on a card and then let go very quickly, it plays the card instead of you having to drag it up. So yeah, so I'd probably recommend that version. And I do need to get it on Steam as well, because at the moment Steam only has the PC version, but my itch. Do you want me to chuck it? I'll see if I can find the itch website. One sec. I should know what it is. That's the one. Yeah. Right. Okay. So, where were we at? We're gonna go. Oh yes, awesome. Yeah, let me know what you think. It still is at the moment. I've had Lake here around saying it's really difficult, but I got faith in you. So you've probably played enough Slay the Spire. So good techniques is if ever you get to trash a card, it's actually better to just trash one of your cards in your starting deck rather than actually getting rid of scrap. Because scrap you can always get rid of just during the fight, whereas you're kind of stuck with the rubbish cards, and you essentially want to increase the chances that you're getting better cards as you're playing. Right, so where are we up to now? That was it. Right, okay, so now we're here. I'm going to go back to title. And but actually, one thing though, Lakia has actually like properly found a good purpose for the Glycerca. It's like if you can get enough attackers and then double it all, it's really good. Oh right, oh fair enough. So I'm going to go new game here. Ah, right. Oh yeah, I know what the problem is. So it's because of the lack of information that we have. So if we go scenes, go into title scene. Yeah. And overall, in shops, upgrading cards is really good because the fact that you can upgrade cards twice, almost every card that's upgraded twice is always going to be very, very strong. Right, new game. That's fine. I know what the problem is. We've got to go quick reset. Actually, we might. Let's just check. And then get rid of that. Oh yeah, so I've just got to get rid of the sound effects. Okay, it's better. Okay, so here we are. Yeah, right, we've got a heart thing here. Restore life and gain some max life. That isn't what this tile does anymore, so I need to actually change that. That's what we can work on now. I'm just going to have restore life and just change it to that. I just got to work out how I can actually get to that. Oh yes, yes. I mean, I think the ultimate, it's the Lost Relic. The Lost Relic with Boy Royston is brilliant. And you probably knew this already, but if you look at the wording, and it's intentionally how I've designed it, but Lost Relic, you don't have to play the totem in the same turn. So you can play Lost Relic, and then several turns later, it's just the next totem you play, so it doesn't have to be that turn. So it can work out quite... it can work out really good. The only problem is if you've got any... if you've got any kind of rubbish totems or totems that aren't that impactful, because I quite like the strategic totem, but it's not super impactful. It can be frustrating if you've set up a Lost Relic and you're ready for your big, like, you're ready to duplicate your big, like, Boy Royston or your Book of Bees or your big impactful ones, and then you accidentally just, like, make two strategy totems or something. Anyway, right, so let's go on to here. Oh, I'm actually looking at the wrong place, but I think we can work out, find all the references here. We can work out where we need to put it. It's not that one. I think it's over here. And I'm pretty sure we're close. We're definitely close. So I think it could be this. Let's have a look at the setup. That's it. Right, so one life. I think we can just go like that. And I'm trying to work out... because we can probably, where we've got the monster, it's probably not too hard to make it so that you can hover over the thing and actually, say, fight Benji or fight the actual name of the monster. Because I think people can actually... I actually don't mind like divulging that information to someone, so they've got an idea as to the enemy that they're fighting. So fight. So I'm just going to go kind of green that out and then go Control C, Control V. This is why I quite like doing this. So fight, and then we'll leave a space there. Plus, and then plus. Now, have we got easy access to the actual monster? So that will be DTC dot. Monster on tile dot. I don't really want to do display name. Let's go into here. Let's go to the definition. It should be monster on tile. Yeah. So this is more of just a bit of an experiment. While we're here, we can give that a test. Yeah. Fine. Yeah. Yeah. Well, actually, what I was considering is actually having Lost Relic as one of the totems. Right. Okay. All right. So at some point, right, now here's where you're going to realise that sort of my lack of knowledge. So I have seen people use the $ when it's something to do with strings, and I still need to learn exactly what the $sign does, because I've seen loads of people, and I think I've seen you use it, but I've seen loads of other streamers use that $sign. In fact, that's going to be my sort of like a bit of my homework, I suppose, because I want to know what that $sign actually means. Yeah. Oh, yes. Variables inside. Okay, right. So now we've actually got a choice here. Now I'm happy either way, and I could just do both, I suppose. I took out my 5x5 cube a little while ago, and so like let me go into where are we? Right, rockin', wicked. Right, how's it all going? So let me know if a bit later you want to see the 5x5 cube, because I'll be happy to do that. The only problem is it's quite socially at the moment, no, but I have been, and actually it was quite a funny time at work when there was this, when I was just playing with my Rubik's Cube, and I said I've even got the socks for it, but unfortunately not today. I've got generic striped socks on today. Right. Okay. So are we happy? That's pretty messed up. Okay. And like I said, I'd love to have a timer, but it's not socially that easy to put on a timer. Right. So, right. 3, 2, 1, and go. Good. No one's timing this, because this isn't going to be the strongest time. Never mind. Right. You didn't need to time it. No, I made a mess. You're meant to get a white cross, and I kind of messed up, and I was trying to sort of trying to do it sort of subtly. But thank you very much for redeeming that. Oh yes, and also on that sort of note as well, what I want to do, and I haven't worked out exactly how, because I do want to have a tutorial of some sort, but I don't want to force people to have to do the tutorial. I want it to be more just like a quick line of text, right? Almost in a comical fashion, saying the object of the game is you've got to defend your town by dragging cards up and to play them, and then that being almost it. 25. Okay, terrible time. I mean, obviously good for an average person who doesn't know how to solve a Rubik's Cube, but for me, that is quite a weak time. But yeah, so what I'm actually looking to do. Oh yeah, of course, right. So now that we've actually set that, let's see if the monster thing works. So yeah, somewhere though. Actually, let's go make this full screen. No, it's fine. Just starting sentences and not finishing them. Apologies. Right, maximize. We just go resume here. Yeah. I think it's like it does become quite streamlined. Like ideally, I want to be hitting roughly 20 seconds every time. So right, fight Snakey. Yep, brilliant. That works, doesn't it? And then we can actually find out all the so Tice, Pretentio, Betsy Gray, Viper. So you can actually see what monsters you're fighting. I don't know if I'm in love with that idea, but it was so easy to code that like I thought I'd just keep that there. Right, so that's good. Now, yeah, so if I go, in fact, so what I'll explain what I want to do. So when we have all of this town, I kind of want there to be some sort of like one of these houses or something like that that's just sort of sparkling or something. And you can tap it to like then bring up a sort of a tiny little dialogue. Scene change. Oh yes. So sorry, what's scene change? I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, you're right. You are right. I think the only problem is I still want people to. I don't want like. Does this ever happen in a game where you click on something and then you think, oh, I just want a quick hint. I just want a quick like, I have low attention span, so I just want to click it and then be like, brilliant, that's great. Whereas if you click on something and then it's like, no, closing everything down, take it away. All right, now let's bring everything up. You kind of sometimes feel like you regret clicking the button in the first place, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that is. That might not necessarily be true. That's what I'm sort of fearing at the moment. But you are right. So I have kind of created a new scene, and I'm going to actually we'll show the picture because a little while ago I did have an idea for a cutscene, but I've realised it doesn't quite work. I was trying to do it off. Oh yes, haha. Sorry. That's what you were talking about. The scene change. Right, so anyway, no. You needed to see my big head the whole time. So right, this is here. I feel like I kind of want a thing that you can click on where it will give you a tutorial. And like so I won't actually like execute this whole plan today, but maybe if I go into is it episode scene, and I think we can save, that should be no problem. So what I've actually done is forget actually the fact that I'm here, right? This was more of a side issue that I might not bother with, but what if I sort of zoom this out here, if your opening screen is something like this, and there's going to be a few little bubbles that you can talk on that you can actually just tap, and one of them will be like tutorial and stuff, and you tap it, and then it will bring up like a very quick dialogue of barely sort of like of two people talking and explaining the tutorial. That's kind of like what I'm thinking of at the moment. So there's like, and if you wanted to divulge in some of the pointless conversations that I'm looking to actually have at some point, then you can, but there'll be no obligation to do so. It's more just like, if you want to understand a little bit of the lore of the game, then I'll explain certain bits. But that's kind of like, that's what I'm thinking. But I probably need a bit more of a strategy before I start doing that. So that's like the idea. That's what I'm thinking of, but I haven't actually done that. I don't think I'm going to work on that today. We're going to keep crunching down this list though, because we've got hopefully easy things. Hopefully some easy things to get sorted. And I've got a few things written down as well, all of which should be pretty easy. Oh yes, right, having the mouse scroll. Yeah, working on getting the mouse scroll. So I've done a little bit of reading into that, and I don't think it's going to be hard, but I would have to do some testing as to how it works, because I don't know. Whenever I'm trying to learn anything new in this, like the way which I kind of do it is I just essentially just like. I try to make something that's outside of any game and just try and work out how something works and then fix it. And I don't think it's going to be super interesting with me trying to experiment with the scroll wheel. So that's something that I'll do off stream. Oh, right. Now here, a little suggestion you've got is when clicking play button on main menu, if there's no game in progress, it could go straight into the game rather than having to click a new game as well. Yes, that's actually what I did do originally, but with the introduction of boosts, I think people might because I've actually essentially I did have that originally and I've got all the code to put that in, but I think I prefer having new game, like it's coming up new game, even though it feels like it's one extra click. I do agree, but because the fact that there can be a resume button, it doesn't make an awful lot of cognitive sense in my head to have either it just goes straight into the game without any warning, or it will give you the new game resume button. But that's something that I'm going to kind of I'll speak to other people, because I originally had it so that you press the play button, and if there's no other save game data, it will just go straight into it. I did have that originally. Okay. Oh yes, right. Boom. Here is an easy one that we can fix, this one, this is actually going to be so easy to do. So let me go back into, let's go into the main game. That's fine. So an issue that we've got is if we go into now, let me try and think where the best place to find this is. Resources, monster action SOs, and I'm just going to pick one, which will be, say, rage. We want to basically find all the instances of that, and then I'll explain the problem. So if we go master, let's go clear a few things up. Let's close all but this. And hopefully somewhere along here we've got all the monster attacks. Yeah. Okay, so rage. Let's go find all of these references. Looks like it's only 2. So what rage does is it attacks for a small amount of damage, and then you gain a kind of hidden amount of, you gain a certain amount of attack damage. Now the reason this is confusing, and as I say, I've now heard it from multiple people that it's confusing, is because it doesn't actually, logically, you hear that it says gains 10 attack damage, you would think, well, the next attack is going to do 10 more than what it did before, whereas it's adding it's way more complicated. I've made it way more complicated. So what I could do is where you're actually gaining attack, we could literally just say, first I'll green it out so we haven't lost anything. But if I just go, see if I can just put this this all back to where it's supposed to be. So attacks for this much and gains attack. That way, like, as much as like I only need to worry about the sort of internal maths. You could just say it just gains attack, right? That way, no one's going to have to worry too much about like how much attack is it gaining, because to try and explain it, it does get confusing because you have to explain that there's an internal number for each monster, which is their attack damage. But some attacks do, like, for example, 75% of the attack and something else, or it will do 50% of the attack and something else. And when, yeah, so I think if I just change this, so that, yeah, and gains attack, I think that's fine, and I can just change all of those to that. So let's find all the actual other moves which increase the attack. And we kind of want to get rid of the number as well, if I can, because it actually shows a number as to how much it's attack damage, and it's a lot more confusing than it needs to be. So that's what I'm going to work on. Attacks for this much and creates a drone that increases attack at the end of each turn. Yeah. I think I prefer this. So ranged attack, jump forward, enrage, raises attack and jumps forward 1 space. Beautiful. Right. Rage attack, attacks for this much and gains. Maybe I should have attack damage and gains. No, yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah. So we can almost have exactly the same wording. So attacks for this much and gains attack. Temper drone attacks for this much and creates a drone that increases monster attack. Increase the monster's attack whenever a card is played. And Temper Strike attacks for this much, increases it. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, so all we need to do now is let's have a look over here. So we need to actually make sure that when we're sorting out the symbol, yeah, this is where it gets a little bit interesting. I've just got to find the correct. It'd actually be way easier if I just go to the thing. So time for a school run. Is that again? Yeah, no worries at all. See you in a bit. What we kind of want to do, where we've got our test blob, this one here, we want to make sure his initial move here is, oh, in fact, it's way easy to find this. So let's go get rid of that. Monster attack symbol. Let's edit this script. So we just need to work out, we just want to make sure that whenever you see that sort of like crazy, like enrage like move, there's no numbers on top of it, because then it will just confuse things. So get action int, summon. Summon routine, because there's a certain point where we're just setting the values and we're setting the pictures, and I've got to remember exactly how we're doing that. So I think, so set all values. Let's go to this definition. So show numbers. Oh, right. So we've actually, I think we can just, oh, it's a lot easier than I thought. Okay. So where we have all of these moves, not ranged. So if I look at this, we can just get rid of that. That's fine. Sorry, I thought this was going to be way more complicated than that. So we just get rid of where we're showing this number because you don't need to see it there. And I think we can get rid of that number as well. And so Temper Strike, get rid of that. And I think that one we kind of have got to keep. It's a bit more confusing. And where we've got ranged, where we're enraging, we just want to I think this one here. So that's where it enrages and moves forward. Yeah, okay. So this will mean that it just make it a lot easier in the future. Right, okay. So that's kind of that thing sorted. Right, where are we up to next? Oh, this is, yeah, sorry. By the way, yeah, Lakia came up with a good solid checklist of things which are like little ease of life things that are just going to improve the game overall. So I'm just kind of reading through. That's all fine. It looks like we're slowly but surely getting them all fixed. So yes, so this one here, I think we actually are able to recreate this problem, and then I'll be able to work out a way of fixing it. So let me go get rid of that for the time being. So at the moment he's jumping forward 1, brilliant. Right now he's jumping forward 2, but there's only one more space left to go. So he should never be able to do that move. So we kind of want to check to see if there's only one spot left to move to, it defaults to just basic move forward 1. So that shouldn't be too hard to do. And I think I'm just going to kind of work on that. So edit script. And I think as well, while we're here, we're on the master script. Close everything down. And where we've got I've got to find it, a basic attack, right? One of them is going to be jump forward 2. So let's find all of these, find all references. And we've just kind of got to work out the point in which, when it's being selected, that we just swap it to just jump forward 1. I'm looking at the wrong thing. Jump forward 2. Yeah. So we've just got to find out when this is being activated. If there's only one space, then yeah, it just does jump forward 1. So. Right, so we've got here set ranged attack. So change to new action. I think this one here. Let's find out exactly what's going on under the hood. Set values. Let's go to this definition. It's the action SO. Okay, so there's probably a certain thing when we're setting this where we can have something like if monster action SO, now let's go into here, dot monster action type dot monster action type is equal to monster action type dot jump forward 2. And we've got to have we need access to work out how many jumps there are left until you arrive, which we should be able to find somewhere on here. I'll need to wait for it to create the little mini map. So mini map go, that's it. So number of turns left, that's it. So let's edit this script. And it is instance, that's fine. So let's go over here. And oh, it's called the map script, yeah. And map script dot instance dot number of turns left is less than or equal to 1. Then we actually want to change. Oh gosh, this is going to be quite a little bit tougher than I thought. It's something like monster action SO equals basic jump forward 1. Is that going to fit it all? No, that's not going to work. Okay, we're getting there. We're getting there. So we do need this code. We just need to work out. We just don't need to put it here. Right. So yeah, this is the code that we need. We just need to put it somewhere slightly different, because the problem is what will happen is that will mean whenever we're looking to jump forward 1 or jump forward 2 and we can't, it's going to permanently change that scriptable object into something else, which is not what we want. It's like, that way you'll literally only ever see that jump forward twice, and then it will permanently change your game so that you can never see it again. That's obviously not what we're looking to do, but we're making a start. That's the important thing. So what we kind of want to do is, where we're selecting the next attack, select next ranged action. So here, and then that's setting the ranged attack. Okay, so yeah, we want to use that bit of code that we've made, but just change a few things. So I'm just going to temporarily go Control C and then just green this out, and then go back in here, and then actually the more I look at it, Yeah, the more I actually look at it, maybe we can just keep it. We can keep it in our original place. So let me see if I can. Let's see how good this code is. Yeah. Okay. Right. We are actually we're a bit closer than I originally thought. So what we can do is if MRAT is equal to that and that, then MRAT equals that. That's it. That's all we need. Because that's the monster action type. So I think we just need to put that in there. And at this point here, rando there. So now, instead of that being, that can just be rando. Oh no, hold on. Nope, I've got something slightly wrong, but we're close. We're close. Let me just have another little stare at this. Oh, that's interesting. So, go to this definition. Yeah, okay. Right, yeah, I've made it a little bit confusing on myself because what we've got here is where we're setting a range where we've just got an array number. I'm not sure why I've made it as complicated as it is, but that's okay. And here, yeah, okay. All right, this still shouldn't be too hard. So I think we probably put it in this point or something. So get monster. So it looks like we have to solve it somewhere slightly different. Oh, right, apologies. I know I've been mumbling for a little while. Let's go here. Definition. Yeah, okay. Right. So what I really, oh yeah, this shouldn't be too hard. Okay, so MRAT monster action type MRAT equals C equals that if that is equal to jump forward 2 and that MRAT equals that. Okay, so now we can actually just put MRAT there and T. There. Okay, so that way we're not affecting any of the SOs, the scriptable objects. We're not changing anything. So is that going to work? Right, let's give it a try. Okay. It's going to be really underwhelming if it works, but I'll be really happy if it does. So, at the moment, casual basic, it's jumping forward 1, no changes, everything's fine. And now it's jumping forward 1 again, and it's not creating an error message. Yes. Okay, fantastic. Right, okay, right. So, like, even though that looked incredibly long-winded for what I was trying to achieve, I think we have actually reached it. We've done the thing. We've got there. Okay, so that's brilliant. Let's see what else I can do in this time. Right, okay, we've got a few nice, easy little things to do here. So, make the deck shown go always in the order of the card enum, which is what we've done. Discover the concept of the scroll wheel. Yeah, I'm going to work on that another time. Improve the Ready Camp card. I think it's called Bolster the Line. It's just a bit rubbish, isn't it? We can make it better, can't we? I think I just need to create... so Bolster the Line. At the moment, it doesn't upgrade very well, and it's not very good. I think we just need to improve it. So, what Bolster the Line does is it adds attackers and defenders to your Ready Camp. Now, given that it vanquishes itself, means that we could probably make it cheaper. I think I'm going to do a few radical changes. So I think straight off the bat, the level 2, the level 1 should just be 2 mana and not 3. And this one here, the upgrade. Oh, have I just changed it? Have I changed the correct? Yes, the mana cost is 2. The upgrade is going to be 0, but everything else is going to be the same. And the upgrade again is going to be mana cost 0, and it will be 4 and 4. 4 and 4. Yeah. So it's a lot easier to casually fit in. And a new thing that I quite like is making cards cost... Suddenly making a card cost 0 makes it such a more valuable card as well. So I quite like that. So yeah, that's just an improvement overall. And I might regret making it 4 and 4, but I'm okay with that. At the moment, we need upgrades, so I think I'm okay with that. I think everything else kind of stays the same. Okay, right. Well, that's good. Let's actually experiment. Let's put it in a deck. Just check that all the things work. So. Bolster level 1, level 2, and level 3. Let's just check it does all the things that we want it to do. Also, oh yeah, I haven't actually written the word vanquish at any point. Yep, okay, I need to change that as well. So we just need afterwards to write vanquish, and here we need to write vanquish, and then I need to do that for all of these. Yeah, there's actually some other cards which should be saying the word vanquish and they don't, which gets a bit confusing. So Bolster the Line, this is the level 2 one, so it costs 0 and it's giving you all that stuff. Brilliant. Let's just check the others work. Bolster the line here, that's 2 mana. Adds 2, which is exactly what we wanted, and this one is add another 4. Yeah, okay. Brilliant. Right, that's good. Right. See, we're cycling through. I've actually lost track. I was going to add one every time, but we're up to about, I'm going to say 9 now. I'm just going to say 9. I don't know. I've lost track. I mean, if I should try and name all the things. So fixing bolster the line, fixing the one-click card, getting the one-click card to drag up when it activates. Yeah, we've done quite a lot of stuff. I'm going to have a little look on the list of things that, you know, I want to. Oh yeah, of course. These are little things that I do want to work on, but I don't know a good way to actually sort of make a start on. So an issue that we've got right now is when you are leveling up, there's no real indication as to what level that you're on. All you know is you've leveled up and you get these certain things. So and another little thing that I kind of want to do is when you get boosts upon level, you should add those boosts that you've unlocked. Like you should add one of each just to your boosts collection. I think that just makes the level up a little bit more exciting. So you're like, oh wow, cool! I've got a new boost I can use. That's my plan, but I don't know how I'm going to do that straight away. But one thing that I do want is, and again, if we save, go back in here, right, and I've got to work out exactly where we can put it, that nothing else gets in the way. So when you upgrade, I think there should be some little something around here or somewhere where there will be a signpost, maybe in a crooked signpost at an angle or something like that, where it will say what level that you're on. So when you first open and start the game, it should just say town level 1. And if you tap on it, you can check everything that you've got from all the levels. But I haven't worked out exactly how I can sort of fit that in casually. I'm going to worry about that a bit later, but that's kind of what I want to do. I like the idea that however many levels there are, there's going to be like about 14 or 15 Rumple levels to go up, and like the town actually looks, the actual sign kind of upgrades and looks better as you upgrade it more and more. And maybe when you look at the town, you can still get to see the old symbols by whatever that particular level up gave you. But I'm going to worry about that later. I just thought I'll say all these ideas out loud. So yeah, so I'm kind of going through the ideas. So that's trying to work out. So one thing that I will need to do as well, there's a new card that I want to add, but I haven't drawn the artwork for it yet, which is going to be another X card. And I want to see if I can kind of, if we go resources, I think it's called Sniper Team. Sniper Team here. I just kind of want to have a look as to what's going on. So what happens here is you recruit a certain number of rangers, and you multiply it by this, and then you look at the condition, and then it does something else, because we want another card that does X. But again, I don't think, unfortunately, I tell you what, I might have to end the stream early-ish, just because I don't think my brain is quite in the mindset for doing this. But we're going to essentially use that code to create another card that's going to be called, I think I want to call it Vivax Extreme, because there's someone who comes into chat every now and then called Vivax who's been helping me out quite a bit, and I kind of want to make a card after that, and it's going to be a good solid X card that vanquishes and heals and summons a bunch of attackers. But I don't know the exact numbers or the maths or anything yet. But that's what I'm planning on at some point. Anyway, I think I probably will call it here. Thanks so much for sticking around. As I say, I've got to do. I'll probably do a big old stream at some point where I'm going to cover like a bunch of stuff. But at the moment, my brain just isn't quite in the mindset. I think I'll stick with what we've done here. But thank you very much for sticking around, and I'll see who I can raid. Thank you very much. All right, goodbye.
Structure, input, event. So of course it's not going to be in C sharp. Zoc Fire. I'm so sorry I'm pronouncing that wrong, I'm sure. Thank you so much for the raid. Whoa, welcome aboard. Welcome, Zoc Fire. I don't know how to pronounce Zoc Fire. Thank you for the raid. Zoc Fier. Zachschwer. I'm so bad at pronouncing names. Welcome, my friend. Welcome to Captain Coders Academy. Thank you so much for the raid, folks. If you're not following, shout out. Let me spell it right here. Give them a follow. Thank you so much for the raid, folks. See that little heart button? Give them some love. Thank you so much for rating. You got any? Let me give you a VIP status so you can share some links if you need to. If you have any links you'd like to share, do not hesitate to do so. We'd love to check them out. How was your stream? And welcome aboard. We got about 30 minutes left here. We're playing around with Godot, trying to get some buttons in here. So it does kind of look like, let me try C sharp. Detect clicked sprite in C sharp.